Alright guys, and welcome to the next episode of AdMath's Monopoly Madness. Today we are going to dedicate a question to the income tax block, on the Monopoly board. So far we did 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're on our 5th question. For those who are new, we're doing a question for every block on the Monopoly board. Okay guys? So that's a lot of questions, and this is perfect if you already did all the topics in AdMaths and you touched on all of them and you're looking for a crash course the night before the CXC exam, okay, or 2 days before the CXC exam, okay, right? There's no need to go and pay for an expensive crash course. You have it here for free, guys. Take advantage of it. So let's get started. This question today is going to be based on differentiation. So, here's the question. You have a cuboid, a box, a shoe box if you want to call it that, right? That's the shape of it. And you are given that the volume of this block, and you already know how to find the volume of a block or a cuboid, length by breadth by height. I'll write it on the board just now. And we want to find the minimum surface area. So first of all, usually when you're doing a question, an equation, there will be x and y, but I need to choose a letter to represent my surface area. So I'm going to choose the letter A for surface area. So here's the thing. We're interested in finding the surface area, which means I have to create an equation to represent the surface area. I mean, I know how to find volume, but what about the surface area of a box? All you really need to do is find the area of each face, which are rectangles, and you add them up. It's that simple. So let's start. This is going to be a long question, guys. I apologize in advance, but there's no way I can do this question quickly. So let's try this face here. The front, length by breadth. So that's x by y. But won't we have one in front and a similar one to the back? So we have 2 of that. So that takes care of the front and the back. Plus, what other faces do we have? How about this one here, the one with the 3x and the y? If here is y, then over here is also y. The height is what? Y. So we have one in front, so the area is length by breadth. So 3x by y, but we have 2 of it, one in front and one on the other side. So we have to take this whole expression and multiply it by what? 2. So 2 by 3 is how much? 6x. So that takes care of the front, the back, the face, and the face on the other side. Now we have the top and we have the underneath. If here is x, over here is x. If here is 3x, then over here is 3x. Length by breadth. So that's 3xy, length by breadth, but we have one on top and we have one underneath. So that is 2. So we have to take this and multiply it by 2 also. 2 by 3xy is, guess what? 6xy. Right. So we could actually simplify this a little bit. Let's try to simplify this. I wonder if I did anything wrong. I think I did something wrong. Here's the mistake I made. So this one was length by breadth. This one was length by breadth. This one was, the length was 3x. And the breadth was x. So it's length by breadth. It's x by a next x this time. So this is 3x squared. And we have one on top and we have one underneath. So we have to multiply this by 2. So this will be 6x squared. Almost messed up there, guys. I almost messed up. But this could actually be simplified, you know. You see anything on the board here that could be simplified? Here has a 2xy, and here has another 2x here has a 2xy and here has 6xy. Both of them have what in them? An xy. So we can add this now. So let me put it down here. 2xy plus 6xy is 8xy plus 6x squared. How does that look so far, guys? Everything looking good? Right? Well, we have a little problem now. When it comes to finding maximum or minimum, we have to differentiate. Now, whenever we're differentiating, there's usually two letters involved. Let me show you on the side here. I'm going to pick a very easy example to differentiate. If I have y is equal to 3x to the power 5. Here we have y, and here we have what? X. Let's differentiate this scenario. We get dy dx. We throw the power in front, so we get 15, because the 5 will meet the 3, and then you minus 1 from the power. Great, that's easy to do, because there are only two letters involved, y and x. In school, you only know how to differentiate two types of letters. But look over here, it's different, guys. It have x, y, that's already two types of letters, but we have an a. You do not know how to differentiate three types of letters, which means we have to get rid of one of the letters. It's either we get rid of x, we get rid of y. I really hope you don't decide to get rid of a, because a is what we are trying to find. So that's a no-no. I vote that we get rid of Mr. Y. He's annoying us and we want him out of the picture. So how do we get rid of the y? The examiner has given us a clue. Look up here, guys. He has told us that the volume of this cuboid, is 972 cm cubed. So let me go to the side here. The volume of this object is length by breadth by height. The volume is 972. The length is 3x. The breadth is x. And the height is y. So when you simplify this, you get 972. 3x by x is 3x squared. And don't forget the y. Let's make y the subject. Between here and here, there's a secret multiply. So let's throw across that multiply, and this 3x squared becomes a divide. So here's what we just did, guys. We made y the subject using this piece of information that the examiner has provided for us. Okay? So I'm just making sure the camera is on. I know I keep disappearing, but I have to make sure. This can actually be simplified, 972, and that can be divided by 3. So I think I should divide that just in case. 972 divided by 3 will give me 324. So the 3 will go into this, right? So I'm going to divide it. 3 into 972 is 324. Let's neaten it up here. And there's an x squared underneath here. You know what this means? This means when we go to this equation here, anywhere I see a y, I am free to throw it away and replace it with this. That's what equal means. This and this have equivalent values. So, just making sure that I did everything correct. So let's go replace them now. A is equal to 8x. Look, the y there, the guy we wanted to get rid of, and we have the opportunity. Throw away the y and put 324 on x squared. 324 on x squared plus 6x squared. Let's try. You notice things looking good so far. Look at it. We only have a and x's. Only two types of letters. The correct amount of letters we know how to differentiate. So we're on the right track. this x will cancel out with this square. So all I need to do now is multiply the 8 by 324. So 324 multiplied by 8 is 2592. Alright. So A is equal to 2592 divided by this x plus the 6x squared. So we just found an expression for the surface area and we only have 2 letters now. Alright guys, so what we're going to have to do whenever you're finding maximum or minimum, we're going to have to differentiate at least once. Actually, we're going to end up differentiating twice, but let's do the first one. And I have to explain what to do when you differentiate the first time. Now, I'm going to slide the camera across there, but let me just write back this up over here so I have enough space to work with. It's a long question, guys. So, take notes. Take notes. Don't fast forward. Don't fast forward. Pushing my camera aside. We'll make sure everything is in view here. Hey, everything is in view. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to differentiate this expression. Never differentiate, well, if you have the opportunity to throw x on top, do that. Never try to differentiate when x is underneath. It complicates things. So, remember, this is really x to the power 1. If we throw him on top, using our little indices rules, the power becomes the opposite. And we have 6x squared here. Let's differentiate a and x. When you differentiate a and x, you get dA dx. How do you differentiate? You throw the power in front. Whatever you have here gets multiplied by this. So minus 1 multiplied by this is minus 2592. And then you minus 1 from the power. Minus 1 is minus 2. Don't fall for that trick. You have a 2 here, throw the 2 in front, you will get 12x. You have to throw the 2 in front and minus 1 from the power. So 2 minus 1 is 1. And of course, nobody bothers to put to the power 1. So that is what you end up with. Now guys, if you don't know how to differentiate properly, I have a whole series on that also, guys. Okay? You know what to do. I keep saying it over and over, but sometimes you need to say things over and over. You go to I Love Lessons on YouTube, on the search bar, and just put a space and differentiation. My videos will be the first videos to pop up. Okay? Okay, so let's move on here. When you differentiate once in a maximum and minimum question, you have to put this equal to 0 and solve for x. When you solve for x, sometimes you get 1 value for x, sometimes you get 2 values for x, and rare conditions you get 3. When you get the values of x, you don't know whether that value of x will cause a maximum or whether it will cause a minimum. To figure that out, you have to differentiate one more time. And I will say it over again in a little while. So let's solve for x here, right? So let's block this off. We put the whole thing equal to 0. Let's throw this x back underneath now. So I have minus 2592. Throw this underneath. The negative 2 becomes positive 2. Plus 12x is equal to what? 0. A lot of students have problems solving this here. To me, the easiest way to solve this, honestly, I'm going to take this expression, which is minus, and throw him across on the other side. When I take this and throw him on the other side, the minus will become what? A positive. So technically, this whole thing is a minus, because he's a minus and he's a positive. When you take a minus and divide it by a positive, you ultimately get a minus. So this whole expression is minus. So let's throw him across now. When you throw this across, you will get positive 2592 on what? X squared. But I just threw him across, right? So he's no longer here, right? I just erased the positive here, but whether I write the positive or not, the 12 is positive. So let's cross multiply, guys. 12x is the same thing as 12x on 1. 12x by x squared is 12x cubed, and anything by 1 is itself. So it's 2592. So to solve for x, the 12 is a multiply, because there's a secret multiply here. Throw across the multiply, you're going to get a divide. Let me get my duster. We'll make sure the camera is still on. Right? Everything seems to be on. Let's divide this. 2592 divided by 12. Let's see. Oh wait. We get 216. Right? So, when you divide these two, you get 216. And now you throw across the cube, and the opposite of cube is cube root. So you have to cube root that on your calculator. And we got a really nice answer. It's 6. So I hope solving for x in this scenario, memorize this, and like how, not memorize it, just note the technique. Sometimes you have to cross multiply in order to solve. Alright, here's the problem. We don't know if this value of x causes a maximum, and we don't know whether he what causes what? A minimum. Remember in the beginning of the question, the examiner had asked us to find what? That's a 1 second, guys. The examiner had asked us to find what? The minimum surface area. I know the word get cut off on the screen, but this word is minimum surface area. Alright. How do we confirm whether this causes a maximum or a minimum? What we need to do, you see, when we differentiated once, we have to differentiate this expression again. It's a lot of work, guys, I know. But we need to differentiate this again. So let me move this across here. Let me write it back, and then we'll slide down the road there. So we have dA dx is equal to minus 2592. The x is already on top, so I'm happy about that. Plus 12x. And the value of x we are trying to figure out is x equal to 6. So when I slide across, I'm going to try to get a piece of the other screen on. Let's see what's going on here. I think I can slide back a little bit. Alright, perfect. I got the 6 remaining on the board here to remind you that it's x equals 6 we're testing. Let's differentiate this guy again. D squared A dx squared. That's what you get when you differentiate dA dx. You have to throw the power in front and minus 1 from the power. So minus 2 will get multiplied by this minus, giving you a positive. 2592 multiplied by 2 is 5184, and you have to minus 1 from the power. So we get minus 3. And when you differentiate 12x, whenever you differentiate something touching x alone, I'm talking about x to the power 1, or just x alone, you're left with the number touching it. It's a little shortcut. I don't like how this x to the power minus 3 looks, so I'm just going to throw it underneath and he will become a positive. Okay? So I'm going to erase it now. Right. You see this value of x now? This is the equation that will tell us if he is a maximum or minimum. He's like the judge, and he tells everybody, hey, you are declared a maximum or declared a minimum. How it works, if this expression ends up being positive, it's a minimum. If it ends up being a minus, then it's a maximum. I know it's the opposite of what you would normally think. You would associate a positive with a maximum and a minus with a minimum. It's just the other way around. So I'm going to throw 6 inside here. We're going to pretend x is what? 6. Erase the x with 6. And let's work this whole thing out. And I just want to know if it's a positive number or a minus number. That's all I'm interested in. So 5184 divided by 6 to the power 3 divided by 6 to the power 3. I'm pressing equal and then I add 12. And I get, when I work this out, positive 36. It ends up being positive. So that means x causes the whole area to be what? A minimum. But they ask us to find the minimum area. I'm going to bring back, I have to go back on, let me see if I can refresh your memory here. We know that x causes what? A minimum. We just proved it. So let's go back to the formula that tells us how to calculate the surface area. Let's see if it's on the board there. Yes. Remember this formula at the beginning of the exercise? This allows us to calculate the area if we know the value of x. And we're interested in x being 6. Because when we were across there, it showed us that x, when it's 6, causes the area to be what? A minimum. So guess what? Erase the x's and replace it with 6. That's the chosen value apparently. Let me get my calculator. Where's my calculator? Alright. Let's work it out. 2592 divided by 6. I press equal. Plus 6 multiplied by 6 squared. And I'm getting the area to be 648. And its area, so it should be units squared. Right, and let's double check the camera here, guys. You know, sometimes it just goes. Alright, so let's double checking something. 18. Yep. Seems to be correct so far, guys. No problems here, and this is our final answer. This here is the minimum surface area. Wow. This question was long. So this question, guys, was dedicated to the income tax block on your Monopoly board. Okay, guys? And of course, if you're interested in any online tuition, you can always call me. Numbers in the description below. And guys, AdMaths takes a lot of work. Alright? It's better that you get to like it and learn to like it. So it doesn't seem like studying. That's the best advice I can give. Okay? Learn to love AdMaths. It's fun actually once you get good at it. Take care, guys. See you soon for the next block, which I think is, which one is the next block? Let me see. After Go, Mediterranean, Community Chest, Baltic Avenue, Income Tax, reading, Railroad. See you soon.